Have you run out of ideas for meal prepping? Don't worry, I got you. I'm gonna show you how to take advantage of all these beautiful and fresh produce that are in the market. It's summer, it's hot, and our body wants something fresh. Not everything has to be cooked. So stay with me because I'm going to share with you these amazing vegetables like zucchini, radishes, cherries, green onions, you name it, golden beets. It's going to be amazing. Your meal prep is going to be completely elevated. If you're new here, my name is Eduardo, or my friends call me Lalo. This is the Lalo Lab, and I am a vegan chef. And here I share with you whole food vegan recipes, but my goal is to help you elevate your vegan cuisine and become a better cook. We're gonna be making 2 breakfasts, and also I'm gonna show you the ways that you can use the vegetables to make some salads, but also some sides. And we're gonna be making as well some creams, one with the spring onions, and the other one is actually the cream for the corn, but you're gonna be able to use that for your grains or even for other vegetables. For these overnight oats, you're gonna need almond milk, vanilla extract, ripe peaches that are soft, maple syrup, or you can use coconut sugar as well, hemp seeds, chia seeds, and rolled oats. We can cut it in half. Sometimes the pulp, it doesn't come apart from the seed, so what we're gonna do is just cut it from here. Basically what we want is all the pulp, and this you can eat it as it is. We're gonna place it into a small blender or a large blender. The point of this is that you have enough to blend, like don't put like 1 peach and very little of milk, because if not, it's not going to blend. Oh my god, it's delicious. I could resist it. We're gonna add the plant-based milk. Here you can be the one that you prefer. I'm using almond milk. We're gonna blend, and that's it. Look, that cremosity, the thickness of that, my goodness. And then here we're gonna add our sweeteners and all our liquids. This is maple syrup. If you were using coconut sugar, I would recommend you to put it in the blender. Vanilla extract, and then we're just going to mix. Chia seeds. You wanna mix well because otherwise you're gonna get some clumps, and you know, sometimes you're gonna get a huge piece of chia. Then we're gonna add our oats, hemp seeds. We're just gonna mix well until everything is covered and incorporated, and then we're gonna transfer this into our jars. We're gonna leave it for next day, and voila, you're gonna have breakfast. And the best thing about this is that it required no time, no cooking. You're gonna get the rawness and the flavor of the peaches. That's what we want today. Transfer it into your favorite jar. I'm going to portion it now because I wanna have 1 portion for me and 1 for Ariana. And then just keep them in the fridge overnight. That's it. And the next day, when they are ready to be served, then just add some fresh peaches on top, or whatever. You don't add peaches, you know, if you don't want, but it's gonna be even more delicious. Add some granola, homemade granola, maybe some cacao nibs, or nut butter if you want. For the pancakes you will need sifted spelt flour. It is necessary that you sift it because this is going to add the structure into your pancakes. Fresh cherries, peated, full fat coconut milk, what is going to add that fattiness into the pancakes. Baking powder, vanilla extract, coconut sugar with a pinch of salt, and to finish with some almond milk. This is super simple. Look, you can see the consistency of the flour. Very airy, very soft, beautiful. Okay, so first we're gonna mix all the dry stuff. In this case, this is the baking powder, the salt, and the coconut sugar. Then we mix. You don't have to over mix. You just want the ingredients to mix together. Here we're gonna start adding our liquids. Coconut, vanilla extract, and then the almond milk. You just want to incorporate that flour and allow the flour to absorb that liquid. Everything is incorporated and mixed. We're going to add our cherries. I cut these cherries in small pieces. They don't have to be perfect. I don't need the whisk anymore. The only thing that I need is a spoon. You're gonna see that the butter, the consistency is still soft and a little bit runny, but it's not too runny. Don't work it too much because the baking powder is already acting. So by this time, you would have to need your pan already ready to rock and roll. When your pan is already preheated, try to use non-stick pan or cure it before. Then add a little bit of oil. I'm adding coconut oil. I'm doing small pancakes because I want them to fit into my food containers. But you can make them a little bit bigger, you know, if you have bigger containers. I think they're called dollar pancakes? Oh no, am I making this up? So just cook them like that on medium flame for about 2 minutes, and then we're gonna flip. Look at these cherries, look at these cherries. Look at these babies. My goodness. All the cherries, look. I'm gonna eat this side. The advantage of these pancakes is that they are not too sweet. So you still have room to add some like coconut whipped cream or maple syrup on top. Like, oh my God. For the grilled zucchini, we're gonna use the freshest zucchini that you can find available, summer squash, whatever is the freshest. We're gonna season with Aleppo pepper, black pepper, lemon juice, lemon zest, and we're gonna use olive oil as a fat. And the best thing is the dill. This is going to add the freshness and the characteristic flavor of the dill to bring together all the dish. Alright, to preserve the shape of the zucchinis and the summer squash, what we're going to do is, for example, with this beautiful one, we're going to cut it in 3. 1, 2, and 3, and that's it. Then this is going to go into the bowl. We're gonna do the same with the other ones. For this one, we're gonna cut it in half, and then we're gonna use the same shape, long, and then we're gonna cut it in 3 as well, so we can have this beautiful shape. And it's also easy and quick to cook, so you don't have to spend forever there in the grill. And this one, I'm just gonna cut it in half because also it's very thin. It looks just so beautiful. Remove the bottom, and that's it. So let's start by adding some olive oil. This is just so the heat gets transferred into the zucchini. So we're just going to mix them like this, and using your hands too. You can use your hands as well. We're gonna use black pepper. Don't be afraid, you know, like add quite a little bit because you want that kind of like a kick. We're gonna use Aleppo. There are different varieties. Some of them are mild spice, some of them are spicy, some of them are really just like full of flavor. So use whichever you want according to your tolerance in spiciness. Some beautiful and fresh lemon zest, because oh my God, this is what is going to make it a completely different dish. We're gonna season using some gray salt and then mix it. Look at that color, beautiful, right? And then just so I make sure that everything has a little bit, so I'm just gonna use my hands, don't be afraid. And then let's go to the grill. So you are going to preheat your grill when you start cutting your vegetables. So by the time this is ready and seasoned, the grill is already hot. Only grill these vegetables really quick. So we don't want to leave them there for like hours and hours. So I'm gonna start putting this facing down because I just want one grill mark. I don't have to do both sides. Also, this is very thin. So, oh my goodness, look. And the smell, forget about it. You can use something to put pressure on top. Don't use your hands because you might burn. I mean, you can do this, sure, but try to use something with more weight. In this case, you can use maybe like a pot and then leave it there, and this is going to help to sear more beautifully and get that char color quickly. Because if we leave it too long, they're gonna get overcooked. You don't want it super overcooked. And if you want your vegetables to be grilled perfectly, go and check out my video about Grilling 101. I'm gonna leave it over here, where I show you, even with examples, several examples, how to master the grill, but with vegetables. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes and we're going to discover what's below. Whoa! Look at those beautiful grill marks. Let's say this, man, not bad. A ver. Oh, oh my goodness. This was thanks to the way that was on top. So after you grill one side, you need to remember something that is super important when meal prepping. If you grill the other side, then it's gonna get completely cooked, completely. But then next time you're gonna warm it up in the week, right? And it's gonna be mushy. So you're gonna have a mushy summer squash or zucchini, and we don't want that, right? So grill one side beautifully, take it out of the flame, save it, and then when you warm it up, then it's gonna get completely cooked through, and it's going to be just delicious. And that's something that you have to keep in mind with meal prepping, that you're gonna warm up things again. Not only this vegetable, but everything. So think about that when you're cooking. After they are grilled, we're gonna put them carefully now into the same bowl because all the flavor is in here. Also, I added half of the lemon zest that I had left. And now what we're gonna do? Put some lemon. Oh my goodness. We're gonna season, we're seasoning right here. So basically we're gonna make a vinaigrette in the bowl and a little bit more of olive oil. That's it, just a tiny bit because this is raw olive oil, like extra virgin olive oil. Now it's completely well coated. Next day when you eat it, my goodness, thank me later. For this salad, you're gonna need radishes, snow peas. I have two varieties, purple and yellow. We have parsley, a clove of garlic, Dijon mustard, pine nuts that we're going to toast, and also some mustard greens, olive oil and salt. So if you get the snow peas like this without being clean, you can just remove it with your hand and then do that with all of them. Just gently pull it. You can try to pull this. This has a little bit of fiber here, but if not, it's all right. Now that we have all of them clean, we're gonna cut them biased but a small size, kind of bite size. We don't want super large size because they're gonna be eaten raw. So we want like something like this, more or less. Or if you want just a little bit bigger, you can put 2 or 3 on top, one on top of each other, and they would make the trick. For the radishes, cut the top and the bottom and either shave it like this with the skin on, or you can also peel it. Here we're gonna do both ways, so we can see two colors, like the completely white one and also one like red white. It's gonna look so beautiful. So now using a mandolin or a knife, try to shave it thin because we don't want like big pieces of radish, so just shave it as thin as you can. If you do have one of these mandolins, you can do it with the knife too. It's not gonna be as perfect, but that's okay. Hold it firmly, and then from here you're just gonna bring the knife down. Place all the radishes in the bowl and also the snow peas. Look how beautiful they look together. It doesn't matter if they mix. So now, this step is super important because the radishes are really tangy and the flavor is really strong. So we're going to add water, filtered water preferably, and we're going to add ice. What this is going to do is the vegetables are going to absorb the cold water, they're going to get really firm, but also the radish is going to release some of that punginess into the water. So that's super cool because then when we eat it, it's not gonna be that tangy. So just leave it like that for about 20 minutes at least. For the mustard greens, you can use your knife and then just get all the beautiful leaf like this without leaving anything. Or if it's easier for you, just use your hands and then start at the bottom and then start moving, towards the leaf, and then the leaf will fall like this. Now we're just going to place them one on top of each other really quick. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then with my knife, I'm just gonna run it through. Kind of like if I were making thin strips. We're gonna do the pesto in the pestle mortar. If we just add all our leaves in the pestle mortar, it's gonna be very difficult. Also because the pestle mortar that I have is a small one. And now they were like this. I turn them my way because I'm gonna cut them like this, kind of like as thin as I can, but just passing it once, not like chopping. You want to just once. It's fine if you have a little bit of like a bigger pieces, small pieces, then just kind of with your fingers bring them closer together. So this is easier. So we're gonna do this with all of it. Okay, so let's make the pesto. We're gonna add some garlic, a little bit of salt just to help us mash it. We want a paste so all the flavor is distributed equally. Now we're going to add pine nuts. These pine nuts are toasted. We're getting into this paste consistency. Then here we're gonna start adding our leaves. We're gonna add some parsley, a little bit more salt, and we're gonna start crushing it. We're going to start adding our mustard, maple syrup. The maple syrup is going to help to balance the flavors, the acidity, but also more than anything, the bitterness. Now we're gonna start adding olive oil, and at the end we're going to add our mustard greens. Beautiful, seasoned, lemon juice, plenty, because this is where all the flavor is. Here, now that we have it already cut, we're gonna start adding it little by little, just to incorporate in the mix. We're gonna add more olive oil, the last mashed. Do this for about 1 minute. So it's ready. Look at this. Beautiful, no? Now we're gonna taste it. It's perfect. I would just add a little bit more lemon juice, and that's it. So I drained them, I spun them into the salad spinner, and now look, we have this beautiful firmness that I showed you before. Now we're going to season. We're gonna add a little bit of the pesto, and try to keep this separate. You don't wanna put in the things that you are gonna warm up in the coming days. You wanna keep it separate because you want it cold, you know, you want it to have it cold. And this is super good, you know, even for picnic at the park, like, my goodness, this is going to be a hit. For the cucumber and watermelon salad, we're going to have cilantro, Persian cucumbers, you can also use English cucumbers, curry spice, lemon zest and lemon juice, watermelon, look at this beauty, and some olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. So the first thing is we're gonna warm up a pan on medium flame for 1 minute. We're gonna add the garlic crushed. You can crush it with the hand or your knife. And then we're gonna add the curry spice. We're just gonna mix it around for like 5 seconds. And then right away, we're going to add the extra virgin olive oil. Yes. What we want is to infuse that oil, but since this is extra virgin olive oil, we don't really want to burn it. So that's why we just preheat the pan and then we turn it off. The oil now is like around 50 degrees Celsius, and then we're just gonna basically infuse it until it's cold. Just leave it like that, and then we're gonna start making our salad, and then we come back and we use our oil. These are beautiful. Just remove the top and the bottom. And then the way I like it for this is we're just gonna go like this bias, but turning it. This is called the roll cut. You can see that these are bite-sized, you know, like don't do like monsters like this guy. Even though it looks good, but you know, then how are you gonna eat that huge piece? So it's turn of the king, the watermelon, like this kind of size, okay? It doesn't have to be perfect, and you can do actually the shape that you want. Here, you can cut them like this, or you can do the same like that we did with the cucumbers. Just try to make them same size. Okay, so now we're gonna pour the infused oil. This is still warm, and that's okay because the cucumbers are going to cool it off. So what we want with the warm oil is to cook the cucumbers ever so slightly, and then we're going to add the watermelon. Look at this, and it smells like you wouldn't believe it. Okay, at this point, we're going to season with something fresh, you know, so lemon zest. And I know I've been using a lot of lemon zest, but it is just because it is so versatile. And for example, in these preparations and more in these times like summer, spring, when it's hot, it just add a pops, you know. So if you are not using it in your cooking, you're missing out. And now we want some lemon juice, some freshness, some acidity, some citrusness, and then some fresh ground black pepper. But wait for it. I know you are like, oh my God, it looks so good. I know. But there's still one more ingredient. Salt. But no, this is not the ingredient. This is just for seasoning. Look at this cilantro. Look at this beautiful baby cilantro. It's called cilantro macho. That's why it doesn't look like regular cilantro. And you have an amazing fresh citrusy salad that you're going to want to repeat again and again and again, and everyone will be like, oh, what do you do with it? Oh, it's a spice, right? Oh my God, what do you do? Can I have the recipe? You're gonna be like, yeah, go to the Lalo lab and send them my way, or don't and keep all the credit. That's okay too, that's okay. For this raw beet salad, you're going to need a spigarello kale. You can use lacinato kale if you want, or baby kale as well. It's going to be chopped anyway. We're going to use for the vinaigrette white balsamic vinegar, ground fennel, toasted, olive oil. Very easy. And obviously golden beets. I prefer golden beets for this recipe than red beets, but if you want, you can use red beets as well. There's nothing simpler than this beet salad. So we're just going to start by peeling them. We cut the tops, the bottoms, until you get it like this. We're gonna shave not too thick, not too thin. Just make sure it has almost the same thickness. It's fine if it's a little bit thicker in one side than in the other one. This is gonna be a very rustic salad, so don't worry about it. And if you don't have a mandolin, you can always do this with a knife. So then after we shave them this way, kind of the same thickness, now we're just gonna cut through, and this is gonna give us matchsticks. Here, you're trying to go thin. You don't want to go too thick, because we want these little matchsticks beautifully cut and also very thin, so we can actually eat them very easily. For the spigarello kale, remain the shape that it has already. So basically tear apart the leaves in the shape that it has them, because this is so beautiful, you know, you don't have to do anything else. If this is too much work for you, just use your knife and just cut them in like chiffonade. For the vinaigrette, super simple. This is the grounded and toasted fennel seeds. Then we're going to add a pinch of salt, black pepper. Doesn't have to be so finely in this one. Then we're going to add the olive oil, and then we're just going to apply a little bit of heat here. Then we add the white balsamic vinegar, finish whisking, taste it, and that's it. Lemon zest into the beets, just one time, remember, you don't want to get the white part. All our vinaigrette, beautiful. And now with your hands, you're just going to massage it. What we want is the beets to absorb all this flavor, the flavor of the fennel. Because this is the spice thing, you know, the vinegar, the oil. Basically, we're gonna be marinating them in this. When you're gonna save them in your containers, you can even save them like this. Separate this in one side and the kale in another one, raw, and then you mix it the day that you are gonna eat them. Or you can also add the kale here and massage it into it as well. The kale is a hard green, so it's not going to really, nothing is going to really happen in like 2-3 days. You can store it properly in your container and it will look beautiful as well. So nice now and so easy. Beautiful, my goodness. For the tandoori masala spring onions, we're going to use spring onions, some salt, some vegetable broth, olive oil, salt, 1 bay leaf, and tandoori masala mix. This tandoori masala mix has ground ginger, ground garlic, ground cardamom, ground cumin, and ground coriander. Before anything else, make sure you preheat an oven-safe pan, and then we're gonna cut our onions. So we're gonna just remove the top, and then we're gonna cut them in half, but all the way down, lengthwise, like this. Put them in a bowl, and then we're gonna season them. Some olive oil, just enough to cover them. Then we're going to add a little bit of salt from the top. Want like a shower of salt, you know. Black pepper. Then we're gonna use the tandoori mix. With your hands, mix it. Mix it around, move it. Yes, make sure all the spring onions have a little bit of this spice. They are well seasoned. Just carefully, nicely, gently enjoy it. Oh yes, until you have something like this. We're going to start putting all our onions in our preheated pan. I'm using cast iron because I love the way it transfers the heat, but you can use also stainless steel is really good too. Try to don't use aluminum to put in the oven. So we're gonna sear them for about 5 minutes until they have some beautiful color. Okay, so now that we have these beautiful colors in the onions, we're going to add 1 bay leaf, just a piece of lemon, squeeze it and then leave it in there. And then we're going to add vegetable broth. And then this, as it is, we're gonna put it in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes until the onions are super soft. Oh, that aroma is beautiful. For the green onion cream, we're gonna need the green tops, vegetable stock, soaked cashews, black pepper, and olive oil. We're gonna cut our green onions small, and then we're gonna sweat them in a pan. We're going to add olive oil, and then right after that, we're going to start cooking our onions. These onions contain a lot of water, so you're gonna see a lot of the steam coming out of them. We're gonna cook them for about 3 minutes on like medium, high flame. Okay, so here I put the soaked cashews, the green onions, and the vegetable broth. We're going to blend it and then we season at the end with some black pepper and some salt. Okay, there we have it. Look at that beautiful color. We're going to use all of it. I want all of it. Season with some salt, taste it, and that's it. You're going to see how it doesn't need anything else. You can use this for your grains. With rice would go amazingly with any grain, like wheat berries. You can use millet, quinoa, like just let it cool and my goodness. I think with some beans, mix it in and they're like marinated too. Oh. Finally, for the charred corn cream, we're going to use a mix of walnuts and almonds. We're soaking them overnight, lemon, a little bit of garlic to give that kick, black pepper, and extra virgin olive oil. This cream is super simple. I add the soaked walnuts, the soaked almonds, vegetable broth, some olive oil to add a little bit of fattiness, more fat, lemon juice. That's it. We're gonna blend it until it's really creamy, and then we season with salt at the end. Okay, so this is the consistency that we want. Look, very thick. This is going to be delicious. This is going to be to put on top of the corn cob. Let's just season with salt and then we're done. Okay, so for the corn in the cob, I know it looks like kind of like very messy and like, oh my God, no, it's gonna make a fire. I mean, yes, you need to be careful and you need to be here. So while you're cooking here the dressing or you're doing the sauce, you put this to burn on medium flame, low medium, and then you're just gonna start turning it. You know, you're just gonna leave it like this. It's going to catch on fire for like 3 seconds and then it's gone. Because the leaves of the fresh corn, they contain a lot of water. So then we're just gonna keep turning until this gets black. This is a technique that in Mexico they do, but they do it with charcoal, you know, on the streets, and that's how you eat the corn. If you have a barbecue, the best thing to do is do it there, you know, like you don't have to do it this way. And then do more. I would do like 20 or 10, you know, and then even just cut them and then freeze them. But if it's here, just do it like this, turn them every like 1 minute, and then you want it all around, because then you're going to see how tender and how sweet it gets in the middle. We just finished a lot of recipes, right? But the best thing, if you realize, is that they were very simple recipes like 10-minute recipes, except for the corn that it took like an hour, right, rotating. But while you do the other stuff, the corn will be ready. This just shows you that simple can be delicious. All the things that we did, we used fresh ingredients. We did kind of like half and half. Half things were cooked, but half things were just raw. Like the salad with the radishes and the snow peas. Oh my goodness, I think that was one of my favorites. It was really good. Or the beets, right? Like, have you tried the beets actually raw? A lot of people, they always roast them, always. Try them raw. They're gonna have that sweetness, that crunchiness. Oh my God, amazing. I really hope you enjoyed this video and you got a lot from it. But I am very curious, what would you like me to do next? Because I want these videos to really serve you. Like every video that I put out, I want you to see it and you to be like, my God, that's amazing. Oh, I was wondering how to do that. I was wondering how to do that. And I can only do that if you, in the comments down below, just write down, hey, Lalo, help me out with this. You know, I have doubts with this. I'm gonna try and do my best to make those videos for you and to help you out in this journey, because this is what this is about. I wanna serve you better, and I'm here to do that because I love cooking. I get excited with new things, with experiments and all of that. And if you want the recipes, I put the link in the description, so go there, check all the recipes out, take a photo, save them, because in that way you can just replicate them super easy. You know, add some ingredients, season it your way. You have the base recipes, and that's what I wanted to do for you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe now, because you're going to miss out the next videos. And also give me those thumbs up if you like the video. If not, don't give it to me. Until next time, see you soon. Thank you so much.